Hi, this is Steve Scott, the Houston Business Coach, and thank you for joining me. Very often we have something small. It seems small. It can be very small in terms of the time it takes up each week, but it can be something that we're tolerating, something that's draining us of energy and focus, and we don't even realize it. About 10 years ago, I had a client, and I'll just use a pseudonym. His name was Bill. Bill was a big guy. He was about 6'4", 250, and he was generally very outgoing and likable. And Bill was 40 years old at the time he brought me into his business. And what Bill's problem had been is Bill could create businesses, but then they would seem to implode after 3 or 4 years. And he had created this business in pharmaceutical sales, and it was doing well, but it seemed to be starting on that downward trend again. Anyway, I would visit Bill, and one of the things in coaching is you have to build not only knowing somebody and liking somebody, but trust. And trust takes a long time. So we were about 6 months into our coaching. And I came in on a Tuesday. Normally, I saw him on a Monday. And Bill, who was normally outgoing, he was sitting behind his desk, and he just looked so small. You could tell something really bad had happened. So anyway, I came in, and the obvious question would be, well, what's wrong? But you just don't say anything. I sat there, and finally he looked up, opened up, and said, I just had the 3-minute phone call. And the 3-minute phone call was this. Bill's now 40 years old. His parents had divorced when he was 9 years old. He had never seen his birth dad since then. But when Bill went off to college at age 18, his dad started to call him every week. And his dad would tell him about all the money he was making over in Hawaii. He'd become wealthy, and the women he was dating, and he was going to bring Bill into the business. And he always promised that he would see Bill, but he never did. And these calls went on all these years. His dad made money, lost money. His dad got married, got remarried. It was always promising Bill that he would connect with him, but he never did. And as Bill was sharing the story, one of the things, at the end of every phone call, Bill's dad would ask, Bill, how are you doing? And Bill would tell him, and Bill's dad would always tell him, you know, you can be doing better. You can be doing better. So not only did Bill feel abandoned, he was just never good enough. It turned out those calls came in on Tuesday afternoon. All his employees knew starting Tuesday morning that they really didn't need to be around him. Monday was a good day because everything was very active. Wednesday morning, after the phone call on Tuesday generally wasn't too good, they would start approaching him again on Wednesday afternoon. Thursday generally was a good day. And then Friday, interestingly, as Bill was sharing this, was not a good day because he was thinking about going home for the weekend and, of course, being with his wife, and they weren't getting along. And it turned out one of the things that occupied Bill's mind, and he didn't even realize it, was the 3-minute phone call that was coming up Tuesday. And she was fed up with this. She wanted him to do something about it. So what was happening is this 3-minute phone call was creating a communication block in business, a communication block at home, and also it was creating emotional roadblocks all over the place. So anyway, we had to decide what it was we were going to do with this 3-minute phone call. And one of the things to take away from this video is there are 3 things you can do with any relationship. You can either expand it, you can limit it, or you can hit the delete button. Bill decided he wanted to limit it, but he didn't know how to talk to his dad. So what we did is we wrote out a script. And what Bill decided to do was Bill would tell his dad he was going to call him, not necessarily every week, but he was going to call him when he wanted to call him. And we decided, too, that Bill should call his dad when he had something good to talk about. And there were good things that were going on in Bill's life, okay? But he was going to call him when he was in a good position. So he started doing that. It was amazing what happened in his business. He became accessible. That congenial person inside really started to show up all the time. His business took off. Our goal was to sell his business, which is exactly what happened. And he did sell it and moved to California. The point is, take a look in your life. Do you have a 3-minute phone call somewhere? If you do, it could be amazing at all the opportunity that it's keeping you from, the wall that it's putting up with people. Once again, move through your tolerations and live a life that's toleration-free, and it will not only have a positive influence on your business, but on your life and your relationships. This is Steve Scott, the Houston Business Coach, and thank you for joining me.